It's time for 2FAST2FILMS with award-winning movie critics Mike Sargent and Jackson Murphy. Gentlemen, start your engine.
This is the 2FAST2FILMS podcast with film critics Jackson Murphy and Mike Sargent. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you're doing well. 2 new movies we're reviewing for you. First up, in theaters and on HBO Max, it is The Little Things. This has been a 30-year passion project for writer-director John Lee Hancock of The Blind Side and Saving Mr. Banks. It stars 3 Oscar winners. Denzel Washington plays Deputy Sheriff Deke. Rami Malek plays Detective Jim. They work together. They're trying to figure out some murders. Who may be the suspects? One of them may be Albert, played by Jared Leto. This is set in Los Angeles in 1990. I love the setting and I love the feel of this, and I can tell all the effort and emotion that John Lee Hancock has put into this film.
Well, I have to say the acting, the characters are very well drawn. The acting is very good. I love the combination of Rami Malek and Denzel Washington. I love how disparate they are as characters and the fact that they end up, having respect for each other and working together. I enjoyed that. And I felt like I would love to see this team work on other things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I have to say I was a bit disappointed. I feel that John Lee Hancock, who has written great work, like you mentioned, he's not a thriller director, and the slow burn nature of this, though I think in many ways it does work, by the time we get to the third act and the final twist, what you want to be as powerful is not quite as powerful as you want it to be.
Ooh, I'm going to disagree with you. I completely love the rhythm of this movie. It's its own rhythm. It's different from a lot of other films in this genre that try to be much more. The build-up, the pacing really works. There are a few elements in the story that are a little predictable and forceful towards the end, but I think overall this is very well crafted, and the acting, everybody delivers. Denzel, Rami Malek, Jared Leto, they all bring something unique to their characters. And I think overall, this is a very satisfying film experience.
The next film, I'm curious what you think of. It's a film called SUPERNOVA. SUPERNOVA is about partners, Sam, played by Academy Award winner Colin Firth, and Tusker, played by Academy Award nominee Stanley Tucci. Stanley Tucci's character Tusker is a novelist, and they've been partners for over 20 years, and they are traveling across England in their old camper. They visit friends, they make stops at places they once knew, and it's all because of a health diagnosis that Stanley Tucci's character has been given, and it makes this trip all the more poignant. There's a reveal towards the end that there's actually more to the trip than just them reliving their past and reigniting their passion, and it puts their relationship to a deep test.
This is only 90 minutes, but 80% of it is just Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci. The two of them together talking, looking at each other, talking about what's going on. There are a few other minor characters throughout, but it's basically just the two of them. And if you like them, then you're going to want to see this film because the performances are good. Are they outstanding? No, but they're good performances and they handle specific scenes very well and they feel very authentic. But this is a very heavy movie. I mean, by the end, you're just wow in experiencing all that we go through involving dementia and involving mental illness. It's a lot that director Harry McQueen gives us, little forceful with the direction, but it's a good film. It's not an amazing movie, but because of that, it's not as powerful as I think it wants to be.
Well, I think there are a lot of reasons why it's not that powerful. I think that at the end of the day, I never thought I would say this, a lot of it feels like you've seen this before. There were 0 surprises in the film for me, though it's completely elevated by the actors and their performance. You totally believe them as a partner. You believe that they have chemistry. There are a number of scenes, like you said, that I think are handled very, very well and visually tell you something and viscerally tell you something. And the dialogue and the acting tell you something as well. So there are a lot of things that work. But at the end of the day, it is not the most original experience, and it is definitely not the most uplifting. But I will say I did enjoy the film.
Yeah, the intentions are very good throughout, through the performances, through the script. But we have seen a lot of it before. You're right about that. But even as we're experiencing some of these scenes, they may not have the impact on a scale of 1 to 10 of a 10, but they're at about a 6 or a 7 because we know what the intentions are, we know what the motivations are, and they work to some degree, to some level. I don't see Stanley Tucci getting an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor for this. I know they're campaigning for him very hard. We'll see if it happens. I won't be totally surprised. But again, a solid film, not extraordinary. It's in select theaters right now, and you can watch it on VOD on February 16.
I think that we both thought both of these films have merit, but they could be improved. I think you definitely liked The Little Things more than me, but I cannot say it is not worth seeing.
It's one of my favorites of 2021 so far, and Supernova, solid, but we are both a little disappointed by it, yeah.
That was pretty quick.
Sadly, we've reached the finish line for this episode. Keep up with the show at 2FAST2FILMS.com. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. And follow Jackson and Mike on Twitter and Instagram.